This is the first goal in the Philadelphia Union vs Chicago Fire match. This one comes courtesy by Tai Baribo. And so we can see right here on the ball for the Union is Danley Jean Jacques. And Danley is so crucial when creating space for the Union to eventually get the ball out wide left to Kai Wagner to cross it into Tai Baribo. But we see this multiple times a game with Danley and Jovan Lukic, where one of them will sit back, the other one will push forward into the attacking half of the field. Occasionally, you'll get both players pushing up forward. But Danley Jean Jacques is just going to go ahead after he passes the ball to Jacob Glesnes, just continue his run forward through the midfield, pull the midfielders out of position, allow space for Milan Iloski to eventually get on this ball and switch it from the right side of the field to the left. And you know, this is nothing special between Jacob Glesnes passing the ball out wide, but you can see the run there by Danley. And all that space now it's created in the middle of the field for Milan Iloski, who's to Danley's left. You can see, because of that run, the pass by Frankie Westfield into Danley, who continued his run forward. You've now taken out two midfielders out of the play. Andrew Gutman, who's the left back on this play for Chicago, out of position on this. And so now this gives Milan a ton of space in the middle of the field. And Danley's just going to go ahead and notice that. And so it's not the greatest pass, but then Milan's just able to slow down this play. And right here, as vital as that run was by Danley Jean Jacques to just pull midfielders out of position, it's even more important with this overlapping run by Kai Wagner. Milan's going to find Quinn Sullivan. And Sullivan's now going to have a 2v1 on the left side of the field for the Union against Chicago. Tai Baribo does so well just to be patient with his run here on this play. He knows that the cross is going to come in. He's waiting for Kai Wagner to get on the end of this, and then Tai makes the run in behind the center back for Chicago. But you can see the ball gets played out wide here, and so Kai Wagner now going to make that overlapping run. Kai knows it. It's a great ball right here. First time cross, and then Tai Baribo just excellent first time finish there. Gets in behind the defender. Nutmeg there on Chris Brady, the goalkeeper for Chicago Fire. But just so much of what the Union do well are forward runs. You saw it with Danley Jean Jacques creating space, pulling midfielders out of position for Chicago. It created a whole bunch of space in the middle of the field for Milan Iloski. And then Kai Wagner, on the other hand, he continues his forward run too. And we see that multiple times throughout the game. And so as soon as this ball gets played out left to Quinn Sullivan, it's a 2v1 situation. Kai knows I need to push forward. I need to create this overlapping run to go ahead and just create this advantage for us. Because Kai, one of the best creators on the team for the Union, has such a great delivery into the box, whether it be in the air or on the ground. And Tai Baribo, I think it's so interesting too, because as soon as this ball gets played, you can see Tai just between the two center backs for Chicago here, and he's not going full speed. He knows as soon as Kai cuts the corner and crosses it, now he's going to hit full speed. And then he times the run so perfectly. It's a great cross in there by Kai Wagner on the ground. It's a terrific finish. You can see just Tai, he accelerates really at the end as soon as Kai crosses that ball on the ground, and it's a terrific finish to give the Union a 1-0 lead. All right, so goal number 2 on the night comes courtesy by Kai Wagner on a little set piece between him and Milan Iloski, who just rolls the ball forward for Kai. And I thought it was interesting after the game, Milan was talking about what the discussion was on this free kick, where you can look, before this is taken, how Chicago is lined up. There's all the space at Chris Brady's left side of the goal. Kai Wagner and Milan were both shocked by this. Kai said, just roll this ball out to me because it's going to force players out of the wall to come attack it. And Kai knows that he can sneak this ball under the wall and sneak it past Chris Brady because of all that space that he's giving Kai on this shot. And so Milan just rolls it out, and it's a terrific finish there by Kai Wagner. He called it. It was an audible by Kai Wagner, Milan said. He said, just quickly tap this out. I know that I've got to hit this quickly. I know I got to keep it on the ground, but I know I'm going to get the opportunity because Chicago did not defend this set piece well at all. Horrible wall placement by Chicago, and the Union, to their credit, they take advantage of this. They see a great opportunity, and it's a great strike. You can see as soon as this ball gets rolled, Kai knows that players have to come It's 3+ players coming out for Chicago to close down this, and as soon as they leave that wall, it leaves all this space for Kai. You can see it. This is a great angle right there. It's beautifully struck there by Kai Wagner, past Chris Brady's left side of the goal. A goal in the Philadelphia Union vs Chicago Fire match. This one comes courtesy by Danley Jean Jacques to give the Union a 3-0 lead. And so you can see just Chicago being patient here on the ball, not forcing anything. Union do a good job just taking away forward passing options. And so Elliott's going to go into Andrew Gutman right here. Gutman's going to reset back to Jack Elliott. And as soon as that pass gets played back to Jack Elliott, you're going to see the forward press by Quinn Sullivan on Elliott. Elliott's going to go ahead and try to play this ball in the middle, and as soon as he plays this pass into the middle of the field, you got pressure from Tai Baribo and Bruno Damiani here on this play. And so just good pressing here by the Union. Damiani tackles the ball, Iloski in a lot of space. But what's interesting about this play is just look at the center back retreating. He's retreating backwards. A lot of space for Milan to go ahead and have a shot from distance. It's eventually what he does, but we saw this multiple times throughout the game. As soon as the Union would be going forward, you would see the center backs just drop off, and allow the Union to take shooting opportunities outside the 18-yard box. They finished this game with 12 shots out of their 23 from outside the 18, but it was multiple instances. When the Union pushed the ball forward, you see the center backs just drop. You see Chicago wanting pressure from the midfield. Didn't always come. But right here, Milan sees the space, tries to shoot, gets blocked, but he retains this ball, and now it's a 1-2 with Danley Jean Jacques. And again, a lot of space, tries another shot outside, deflects off of Jack Elliott. And now Quinn Sullivan's going to go ahead and pick up pressure. 2 players for Chicago are going to put pressure on Quinn Sullivan, which is allowing all this space right here for Frankie Westfield just to go ahead and run into. And this is what's so good about Milan Iloski and Quinn Sullivan starting. Both players have the ability to take players on 1v1. Both players do well to attack space. And Chicago knew that Quinn Sullivan's a threat, and so you saw multiple times throughout this game they try to put double teams on him, try to steal the ball off of him, trying to contain him because they know he is a danger man. And so Quinn knows that he has Frankie to his left, and so he's just going to go ahead, reset this play, see Frankie, and Frankie does a good job. He doesn't take a touch. He knows he's in good position. He sees that he has numbers for it inside the box. He sees that there's a little bit of separation between Jack Elliott and Tai Baribo, and so he knows, let me go ahead and cross this ball first time into Baribo. It's a good cross into Baribo. He wins his header, it deflects off of Jack Elliott, and then Danley's there to put the rebound in, 3-0, and it's just an excellent work goal there by the Union that starts with the press. It starts with the press, multiple opportunities for the Union to shoot outside the 18-yard box, and the Union a little bit fortunate that a couple of those shots came back to Iloski, but it's the opportunities that Chicago gave the Union, and they took advantage of them. And so we'll see it again. Just Quinn Sullivan gets his ball back. Now it's going to have 2 players against him. He knows that Frankie's in space. Ball rolled back. This is an excellent first-time cross by Frankie into Tai. It's a good timed header. A little bit unfortunate that it hits against Jack Elliott, but this cross first time, really, really excellent from Frankie Westfield. Couldn't have played a better cross into Tai Baribo. A little bit unfortunate and deflects off of Tai Baribo, but good positioning there by Danley. Gets in front of his defender and then is able just to tap the rebound past Chris Brady for the 3-0 lead. In the game comes courtesy by Milan Iloski to give the Union a 4-0 lead. He finishes the game with a goal and assist just like Kai Wagner. And so you can see Chicago trying to push the ball forward. It's going to go ahead and be played now into Andre Franco, but the ball gets turned over. Jacob Gleason is able to collect that. And Kevin Sullivan just does well to dribble past a couple players and to really accelerate into space. And so Kevin's just going to go ahead and try to lift this ball into Iloski in behind the back line. And it gets picked out here by the center back, but the ball falls right back to Iloski, takes a touch, and outstanding strike outside the 18-yard box. But the one thing I do want to point out when we see the replay on the goal is the positioning by Chris Brady as he's backpedaling backwards. He's not able to really get his feet set, not able to react to the shot, but again, it's just a careless ball forward by Chicago. Hugo Kuiper is a center forward out of the game this time in the match. Don't really have any options going forward, and it's just a careless ball loss. Just pass forward, Jacob Gleason is able to pick it out, but you see that pass there by Kevin Sullivan, and it's the strike by Iloski outside the 18-yard box. Like I mentioned prior, the Union, 12 out of their 23 shots came from outside the 18-yard box this game. A little unfortunate for the center back that Iloski is able to just intercept this. His header, his clearance goes right into Iloski, but we saw so much space given to the Union outside the 18-yard box, and they weren't afraid to shoot. They were not afraid to take advantage of these opportunities. It's a great strike there by Iloski. The angle we'll see coming up here just from Chris Brady backpedaling back, not able to get his feet set here. You see he's backpedaling, and as soon as he's able to strike that ball, he doesn't have his feet set. 4-0 win for the Union. Look at some chances created by the Union in this game. And the Union couldn't have got off to a better start in this game. 29 seconds, they could have been up 1-0 because of this mistake here by Jack Elliott, this backwards pass to Tai Baribo. But it all starts because of the pressure right here by Milan Iloski. Puts the pressure on Jack Elliott. Elliott with a bad pass towards Baribo, and Baribo can't put that one on target. It's a simple tap in there for Baribo. Maybe not expecting the pass to be played by Elliott, but unfortunate situation right there. Now right here, Chicago going for it. And this is really good positioning here by Jacob Glesnes on Hugo Kuipers to just pick out this pass here by Brian Gutierrez. And so Glesnes just going to go ahead and deflect this down into Danley Jean Jacques. And what's important to point out here on this play is you have Brian Gutierrez and then the other midfielder for Chicago Fire. They play with three in the middle. 2 out of the 3 midfielders will push forward for Chicago Fire, and so then it allows just a little bit of space there for Milan Iloski, who is to the left side of Danley Jean Jacques, who's about to collect this ball. You have Andrew Gutman, who's the left back for Chicago, push up high in this field, and so Chicago committed many numbers forward here, not expecting to turn this ball over in the Union's half, and so it's a quick pick out by Jacob Glesnes into Danley. Danley is aware of it, and just a quick pass into Milan, and now Milan forward into Bruno Damiani. Jack Elliott gets caught flat-footed, and it's a shot outside the 18 by Tai Baribo. Unfortunately, can't put that one on target, but Union could have potentially been up 2-0 within 5 minutes of this game. Chance number 3, though, in this game. Again, Milan Iloski was the star player for the Union on the night. 1 goal, 1 assist, as I mentioned. He was so good at attacking space, dribbling past multiple players we'll see here on this play. Just really good, just creating opportunities for his teammates. And so he gets on the ball here, and now you're just going to see really good dribbling in tight spaces, just past multiple Chicago Fire players. You can see just the space Kai Wagner, who eventually is going to have the ball, has on the left side of the field. Milan's still dribbling, then eventually plays the ball into Kai. Chicago does a good job just to shut this down quickly. You can see, though, not allowing anything to be passed inside the 18-yard box. They have multiple defenders dropped in deep, not allowing Kai to get a cross in or play this ball forward. And so Kai's just going to go ahead and shoot this with his right, and it's an easy save there by Chris Brady. But this is something right here. We'll see the ball get played right back into Kai Wagner. You don't see this a lot with this Union team. A lot of what we see with them is just breaking down teams with the ball, and you finally see just a direct ball played by Kai Wagner over the whole field. Ball played into Iloski, goes right past Jack Elliott. Bad deflection there by Gutman, and Iloski's actually in. Has a header attempt, saved there by Chris Brady, but you don't really see this much from the Union, just a direct ball over the top. It's a great ball by Kai Wagner past Jack Elliott. And then Iloski just continues his forward run. Bad deflection there by Gutman. Able to get a header on. You see Iloski, and unfortunately not able to put that in the back of the net. And Danley Jean Jacques, though, on the ball here, and just going to slow it down. And once again, inside guy Milan Iloski, center of the field on this ball. A lot of space on the right side of the field. Andrew Gutman once again pushed up extremely high for Chicago Fire, so now he's dropping back, getting in position, and so Milan's going to play this ball forward into Quinn Sullivan. It's a great ball forward, but like we saw with the Danley Jean Jacques goal, this is a little bit similar. You have 2 players now against Quinn Sullivan again. They know he's a danger man, and you have Frankie Westfield, who's in that space. Quinn Sullivan could have cut the pass back to Frankie, and Frankie could have played a first-time cross into Bruno Damiani or Tai Baribo, but that's not what happens. It's Quinn Sullivan going to play this ball into Bruno, who takes a good touch here, but now he has to reset. Milan in space outside, and it's a powerful strike. Good save there by Chris Brady. In this video, looking at some saves by Andrew Rick, and then also see Chicago Fire hit the post in the second half of this game. But this game could have been a little bit different. Not a 4-0 win for the Union. If Chicago, they had a really good chance here in the 13th minute. Barrasso, the right back for Chicago Fire, we saw it in one of the earlier clips. He does a good job just to dribble out of the Union press. You can see dribbles past a couple players here for the Union, gets out of the midfield, and then this ball played forward into Brian Gutierrez. Gutierrez is able to take a touch and then play the ball forward into Jonathan Bamba. 1v1 against Frankie Westfield is exactly what they wanted. And so Frankie does a good job just to, contain him. And the Union actually have this covered really well. Not many players forward here. You see Andrew Gutman trying to overlap Bamba late. You have Macania 1v1 against Hugo Kuipers. You have Zenko Nagel, who is in space. Kai Wagner doesn't do a great job tracking back. And so if Bamba maybe would have played this ball over the top, Zenko Nagel could have potentially been in space. But you see, because Frankie does a good job just slowing down Bamba, it allows Jacob Glesnes just to go ahead and cut off the shot, press out of his center back position, and Andrew Rick has to make a really good save. But Kai Wagner, a little bit questionable defending here on this play, and maybe the Union do get a little bit fortunate that Bamba doesn't play the ball out wide to Zenko Nagel, but you can see Jacob steps out, blocks this, and then it's a save there by Andrew Rick. It's a really good save. That deflection throws Rick off a little bit, but regardless, good save. And now right here, this is the chance in the second half where it could have been 1-1. It hits off of the post by Oriel. And so you can see ball play forward into Hugo Kuipers. Gets blocked here. This cross by Macania. This shot by Bamba gets blocked by Jacob Glesnes. And then Oriel hits it against the post. It's a really, really, really good strike first time for Chicago Fire. But I do want to actually go back and rewind that here real quick. And so Macania does a good job. 1v1 defending. Just closing down the space. And Jacob Glesnes does a good job, too, just holding his position aware where Bamba is at. You see Kuipers wants to play this cutback pass, and it gets deflected. A little bit unfortunate for the Union, and it's really good positioning once again by Jacob Glesnes to block the shot. So you have both center backs making a play on the ball here in the 59th minute. Again, a little bit unfortunate for the Union that the ball comes out to Chicago twice, gets deflected, and this is a really powerful strike, first time with the left foot by Sergio, and unfortunate for him in Chicago that one doesn't wind up in the back of the net, and the Union are just going to be able to see this one out. Foul there by Tai Baribo, picks up a yellow card, smart foul, and then the ball played in by Zenko Nagel for Jack Elliott, forces a save there by Andrew Rick. Nobody is able to get ahead to this ball. It's a really good ball played in by Phillip here, and really, really good save there by Andrew Rick on the free kick, and able to keep a clean sheet for a 4-0 Union victory.